Hello, good people. Thanks for joining me again. And if it's your first time here, welcome. My name is Anne, and on my channel, I review foreign shows. Like I like to say, we are the friends to the subtitle. And what we do is go around the world, watching excellent content, learning culture, food, language. So if that's something you're into, thanks for joining us. Please go ahead and subscribe, turn that notification button on, and when I review another excellent foreign show, you get that notification. And today I'm back to review a show that is Indian, Hindi, if you will. But why I really love this show is that it also has a westernization to it. And it's actually more on the reality genre, which is called the Indian Matchmaking, Indian Matchmaking, which I really loved. So the concept is, if you know anything about Indians, and I'm talking about East Indians. In America here, we have what we call Indian Americans, as well as we have American Indians, which can be confusing. So Indian Americans are Indians who've come from India and have moved to United States. American Indians are Native Americans, you know, the natives, the ones who were here before everybody else migrated and got here. So hopefully not confusing, but we're talking about the country of India. So most of them, the origin is from India, the country. And this show was really interesting. Is if you know the Indian culture, they've been known to do a lot of arranged marriages. And so it's something that they've practiced for many years. But now with westernization, education, people now have the choice, arranged marriage or what they call love marriage. And so what we see in this show is they've picked several individuals. Most of them are very well educated, and they've been looking for love. So clearly they've tried either to look for love the traditional way, where you meet someone and love them, or maybe you've been so busy with your life career and just haven't gotten to love, and then now all of a sudden it's like, I need someone, I'm getting to be that age to start a family. Or what we also saw in the show is family pressure, you know, where we have mothers, parents just be getting on you to say, it's time for you to settle down and get married. And so with these individuals, what they do is they have asked an Indian matchmaker, and she comes all the way from India, Mumbai, and she's helping individuals. Some are in India. I think there's 2 characters in India, and then the others individuals are here in the United States. And so what she does is she uses, I love what she called it, the biodata. She'd use biodata. They were using the stars. You know, who knew that your stars aligning is very important. I also like that she would also go to spiritual leaders and talk to them about these people. And then on top of that, she would come and sit with the family. And so the decision is not just made by the person who's looking for love, but the family as well. So really excellent concept. And so let's go ahead and meet the characters or the individuals in the show. Since it's a reality show, this is not acting, it's real. And we're gonna start off by meeting our wonderful matchmaker. So the matchmaker, her name is Seema. She's very good. She's very compassionate. She's a good listener. I mean, because these people she's dealing with have demands. Like, I don't know about anybody else. If you've seen this show, tell me if you thought the same thing. But when they were asking for who they want, it was so specific. It almost felt like you're almost like buying a house. Like, I want 6 bedrooms and 4 bathrooms, and this someone has to be 5 feet tall, and they gotta be educated, and they gotta be this, that, or the other, to the point where you're like, are you looking for a human being, or are you looking for something physical? But they knew exactly what they wanted, and this poor lady had to find them someone close to the dream person that they want. Don't forget, all these individuals in this show are very educated, so they know what they want. And let's just say one of the biggest things she had to teach them is how to compromise, you know, because let's all be honest, in a relationship or marriage, compromise has to happen. It doesn't mean you lose yourself, but you learn a lot of how to compromise, and that becomes her task. And I love that the task was also like, sometimes she'd send them to life coaches, because it takes time sometimes to know yourself to be able to give to somebody else. And that's one of the things she was also trying to teach them, and in hopes of finding that person that they love. And then the other thing I noticed is she lives in Mumbai, India, and every single time she had a client in the United States, she has to fly here, get to meet them and the family, to discuss their wants, and then she goes to look for their matches. So she has quite the task, and then not only does she has to deal with the person who she's finding love for, she also is very involved with the families. She wants to know what mom thinks. She wants to know what sisters and brothers think, and she wants to know, obviously, what the person she's helping also wants. So, and I felt like she was very compassionate and understanding, even when people are really being like out there. She had a nice way of bringing in like, remember, these are human beings, and you also have to compromise, you know, not trying to make them feel bad for, even if you're asking for, you know, I want him to look like Tom Cruise, you know, something like that. She would make you look, and, you know, she would make you feel bad about that. So let's go ahead and meet our first person who she helped look for love. So the first person we meet, her name is Apana. I believe that's how you say her name. And she lives in Houston, Texas. And very well educated. I believe she's a lawyer. And she was very interesting to watch, because it seems like she wanted love. However, she would also make comments like, do I have to see them every day? Do I have to learn football because they love football? I mean, it was kind of like, girl, do you want a man? Are you willing to compromise? The other thing that I thought was interesting is almost like, the matchmaker, Seema, would find her all these different guys. And I felt like every single time she went on a date, it was almost like, and tell me if you thought the same thing too, if you've watched it, like she almost self-sabotaged. Like she'd start off with all the negatives, like I don't like the beach, and I don't like she got into it with with a guy, one of the dates, talking about how she really does not care about going on vacation for 10 days. It was like, girl, most people love vacation. Now I get it. Maybe that's not your thing. Maybe 2-3 days, you're like, I'm gonna get back to work. But I don't know about that, like being the first thing to say on a first date. Like maybe second or third date to be like, yeah, I can go on vacation, but I need to be gone for 10 days. It just felt like as soon as she got there, and maybe she probably felt like I'm wasting my time, and maybe that's why she did that, but it really came off like she was self-sabotaging herself. Like, you're not letting them get to know you, and you can tell she's a great girl. That was the only thing I felt like, wow, she really put Seema to work. And you have to keep watching. I believe there should be a second season, just because with a lot of these couples, you feel like you want to know what happens after that. She was raised by a single mom, which, by the way, her mom was very, I felt like her mom was intense. When she said at one point, the only thing I asked my girls was, don't give me a hard time. Don't bring a B, bring an A. I don't want 2 degrees, I want 3. I was just like, whoa. So clearly, you know, she was raised from high expectations, and obviously, same thing when she's looking for a man, she had those high expectations, and also I think sometimes when she would make comments like, "Oh, I don't like the beach," or "Do I have to see my partner every day?" It almost came off as if she was trying to self-preserve. You know how like we all say, "I don't like this, I don't like this," just because almost like if I really show my heart, you know, love is about putting your heart out there, and it's risky. Like we're all scared of getting hurt. And it almost felt like she was using those, like, I don't like this and I don't like that, just because she's trying to self-preserve. And we've all been there, you know what I'm saying? Like, we're just like, I'm scared, I'm scared. So, but I think in the end, you know, I think we can agree she wanted love. And so it'll be really interested to follow her. Hopefully there's a second season. I really want to find out, girl. Apana, I hope it worked out with that guy. It would be really nice to see your wedding. I bet you Seema would really be happy to see if you made it, because she really worked hard for you. Let's go ahead and meet the next individual. So the next person we meet, his name is Pradman. I think you say Pradman is how it sounds like they said it. And he is from Mumbai, India. And he is your classic rich, good-looking boy. And mom, for the family, his sister are trying to convince him it's time to get married. And he seems like he's still in the process of self-discovery. And what was interesting about him is he really came off very, what we call here, metrosexual. I mean, he loves what he wears. They show in one section his closet. OMG, it's gorgeous. The clothes lined up. And then he makes jewelry. I mean, we're talking diamonds and whatever you can think of. So he's an artist, so he's the one who puts all the jewels together. And then the other thing he likes to do is he's a chef, and not just any chef, or he's learning to be a chef. Is the impression we got is he's using that liquid nitrogen that they use that makes you, you know, when you eat something, your mouth is just smoking. So very, very artistic. And when he met Seema, I have to say, the first couple girls that Seema had him meet, I was like, there is no way. I mean, did you see that closet? Did you see how he's dressed? The girl was so simple. It was kind of like, no. In my head right away, I was just like, I bet you he is the kind of guy who wants a celebrity. I see a model, an actress, something like that. That's kind of where he looked like what he would like. You know, he came off like, you know, physical attraction was important. And so you needed to be hot. So the second girl that came around, and she's a model, I was like, okay, Seema, there we go. Now we're in the right track. And for sure, they seemed like they got along. And once again, it would be nice to find out how that relationship goes. So keep watching and really hoping for a second season. Now, I was gonna also ask, I'm not sure if anybody else saw this, but did you guys see he designed dresses for gods? So in India, they have many gods. So he has one god in his house, and he changes the dresses of the gods. He's designed dresses to change that god, and the clothes have a closet of their own with this small little hangers. I was like, see what now? What is going on here? Like, wow. And the closet, clearly they're very wealthy. I mean, the house is like, woo, dripping money, very wealthy in Mumbai. But to me, he was a very, very interesting guy. He also came off a little bit like, I don't know if he was ready or if it was more of the pressure of the family saying, you're getting older, I need you to settle down. So it'll be interesting to see how the relationship proceeds. No spoilers here, so you have to keep watching. And then let's go ahead and meet our third individual. So the next person we meet is Nadia, And Nadia is from Morris Plains, New Jersey. Jersey girl. And she is like a wedding planner, event planner. Almost maybe think of that movie Wedding Planner with Jennifer Lopez. You're always planning weddings, but you're just like, when is mine coming? So this is Nadia. And what I loved about Nadia was, although her heritage is Indian, she is from Guyana. And if you know anything about Guyana, which I worked with several ladies from Guyana, they are the best. Guyana is, I believe, a country in South America, and during colonialism time, they got people from India, I believe Africa, and I believe she said even China, and then they brought them to Guyana as workers. So Guyana is a country that's very diverse as far as people. They have African descendants, they have Indian descendants, Chinese, and that's where she is, which was interesting because she talked about that concept of sometimes not being identified as an East Indian or an Indian just because she is from Guyana and grew up from Guyana. And she is a sweetheart. I think to me, she was just a sweetheart. You can tell she just loves love. She's not shy, outgoing. And I was just like, come on, what is there not to love about Nadia? She's also a Bollywood dancer, just a fun girl. She's that girl you're like, girl, I want to call you, let's have a drink, just fun. And so obviously she called Seema, and she went on a few dates. Actually, the first one was a little disappointing, right? I was really rooting for them because they seemed to really like get along. And then all of a sudden he just flakes on her, which was kind of like, what? You know, all the excuses he was coming up with was like, what are you talking about? So, but as it progresses, she does meet a guy who, by the way, had gone out with our first individual, Apana, and goes out with Nadia, and they hit it off, which was, I was like, hey, nice, all in the house. So we'll be interested to find out how that progressed, because even her mom was like, I like him. And I was so rooting for Nadia. I'm like, girl, oh my God, she is just such a sweetheart. So keep watching. Definitely looking forward to second season, but really a really excellent girl. By the way, I was also going to mention who else loved when every episode that they would introduce an older couple who maybe been married for several years, and they're talking about how they met. And actually a lot of them were arranged marriages, who some of them did not even know each other at all. And it just goes to show how, you know, two people, as long as there's mutual respect and people treat each other nicely, you can grow to love. Because all these couples that they showed, I mean, some were married 50 years, some were married 30. It was just really encouraging to see, and it was really fun to watch that. It gave me that feel from that movie when Sally met Harry. I think they do the same concept where they have this couples in the segment before we continue with the show, where they talk about their relationship and marriage and how they are compatible. I really loved that, them adding that on there. And all of them were Indian too, which was really fun to see. The next individual we met was Vasa. I believe that's how you say that. I'm sorry if I'm butchering your name, man. But he was so much fun. He's a teacher. He's from Austin, Texas. And I mean, you could tell he's one of those teachers all of us wanted to have, because you can tell his students really liked him, and he's fun, he's easygoing. I mean, he's really just a big teddy bear, and was also looking for love, grew up with a single mom. He actually told a story about a family secret about his dad, and I'm not gonna tell you what it is because then I don't want to spoil the surprise. But it went to show that sometimes with culture, having a family secret with something negative, especially in the Indian community, that can really affect if you're gonna have love or not. I believe in, I think in America, Western people may overlook those things, but in the Indian culture, oh no, they don't take it lightly. They're just like, what? No, it's really important to come from a good family. Are you educated? Are you good people? Anything bad happening in your family counts against you. They may discourage you from marrying that family, no matter how much you like the girl or the boy, because of the fact that, oh, that family has that, secret, and oh my goodness. So that was a case with him, but he was so likable. He was so fun. He's giving, he's easygoing, and I was just rooting for him. So he's another one that I really hope the relationship works out. I hope the girl that he is dating is able, I'm praying that she's able to push past, because you have no control over what your family members do. I mean, we don't pick our parents. You pretty much get what you get. So to punish him for that would not be fair. But he was really, really fun to watch. I was rooting for him. Even Seema was so fond of him. He was just like, you're such a nice guy. He's just one of those good guys, So I'm really hoping that the girl pushed past the family history and continued to date. So yeah, really, really nice guy. Like I said, to me, he came off as this just big, huggable teddy bear. Is what you want to do, is just give him a hug. Just happy, really positive energy type of guy. So rooting for you. So the next person we meet is Akshay. I believe that's how they say it. What we find out is he is really got one of those overbearing mothers. He is the baby of the family. He actually really comes off as mama's boy. I mean, he even talks about not making his own bed, never cooked. I mean, they have servants. He's in Mumbai, and it sounds like he had come to school here and then went back home. And then once he got home, mom was like, look, you're done with your education. You're 25 years old. It is time to settle down and get married. And then he's got an older brother. Apparently the older brother was married at 23. So for him to be 25, it's like, look, you're already late to the game. And he's just, you could tell he's just was not ready, but mom was not letting up. And that's why they called the matchmaker to come and help with finding suitable girls for him. And they would find a lot of girls, and he was just like, nope, 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 was not interested at all. And it really stressed his mother. I'm not sure if everybody else was just like, whoa, mom. Mom had anxiety. Mom had high blood pressure because the son is not getting married. And mom has a picture and a timetable. She wants him married by November, December, end of the year. And she also said, I'm not sure if anybody else caught this, was until you get married, your older brother cannot start having children. Like, mom has a timeline about how these things go. I mean, she is bought gifts to ready for future daughter-in-law. She is ready any day. I mean, she is ready for a wedding. So in the beginning, when they introduced him, I was just like, oh no, no, no. I actually was like, I hope he doesn't end up just marrying a girl just to get his mom off his back, I was actually kind of nicely surprised that the girl he took a liking to, like, they actually looked like they genuinely liked each other. But at the beginning there, I was just kind of a little bit getting worried that, oh my God, he's just gonna have to just pick a girl so mom can stop bothering him. I mean, and I get it as a mom, and she actually does say, you know how boys are, if you just let them, they're never gonna get motivated or something to that factor. So she felt like she needed to push him to get this marriage thing going, which when you think about it, 25 is still pretty young in this day and age. Most people, I think, are getting married at 30, 33. It's not even that big of a deal anymore, but no, not good enough for the Indian culture. So keep watching. I thought it was interesting how at the beginning I was just like, oh my goodness, this is gonna be a lost cause. There's no way he's gonna find someone just because mom was really, really, I mean, she layered the pressure and then layered the pressure with the pressure. I mean, I was just like, wow. Which is something to be said. I can see it also backfiring where somebody could end up in a bad marriage because mom pushed so much. She was so interested in me getting married. At one point, it actually came off like she was so interested in marrying him off. Like they went on one of those lunch dates with her girlfriends, and it was almost like, do you care if he loves the girl or you just want to have a daughter-in-law no matter what? And how about the happiness of your son? And don't you want them to get a chance to fall in love and actually have a love relationship as well? But I was happy to see how it all came together. Keep watching. That was a good surprise when it came to Asha. So, and then let's go ahead and meet Ankita. So Ankita, who I loved, by the way, she is in India as well. She's self-made. She's got her business. I believe she's into clothing. They also showed, like, I think she was taking pictures for models. So get the feeling that she's in the fashion industry and doing really, really well. And obviously she also felt like, okay, maybe time to start looking for the one, and has Seema come and help her. I really loved how she was your independent woman. She was very smart, had a lot of questions. I really loved that. It was interesting how she said that in her culture, and I can see that even being in many other cultures, being an independent woman sometimes can come off like you're arrogant and stubborn, but you're just a strong woman who's self-made. And I just was like, look, all women, strong or otherwise, are pink and soft on the inside. And I would say she's still lovable, even if she's independent and self-made, so she makes her own money. Maybe she doesn't need a man for money, but I love that she was also very self-aware. I love that in the end, it's almost like she is just like, hey, look, I'm still good. I still have my money. I'm strong. I actually like how she's just like, ooh, power, women power. Where she's like, look, I'm still gonna continue to do me and continue to run my business. And if a man comes along, it's almost like cherry on top. So, and I would say to men, like, never be intimidated by a strong woman. Everybody needs love. I think it takes a man who's very self-assured to be with a woman who's single, older, and successful. But it happens every day. So, but I really, really loved her. I felt like she was one of those, it was just like girl power, you go girl. Even when society is like, you're older and you're single and you own your own business, where they're looking at her like she's arrogant and stubborn, she was just like, I'm gonna continue to do me. And I say, you go girl, like girl power, like, and that's how it should be. Like, you should be able to be you. And if you find a man, it's more of like an addition, not that the man completes you, right? You're a partner. I know sometimes there's people who are like, I want to find my man, so I'm complete. No, you should be complete. And then if you find a man, they're just an addition to your life, right? That cherry on top, not the, that you just so dependent on the man. So I really loved Ankita. She made me proud as a woman that she was self-made. She was not depending on anybody, and was comfortable with herself. And I believe she would find love. Now, there was one situation where she went on a date with this one guy who was really, really nice. And then later, her friends find out that this guy was divorced in the past, so she gets really disappointed. And knowing her, she comes off as she's very educated. She wants to know it. I think she was disappointed because she would have loved to know that up front. But I was just like, oh, give him a chance. You never know. It could have been your person, but obviously that's kind of an individual, I believe, decision. And like I say, in the Indian culture, having a past doesn't work for you. It works against you. And that is even for men, even men who are divorced. It's like, girls may be like, wait a minute, I don't know. So, but I really, really loved Ankita. I just love how independent she was and self-made, and how she looked at it as, when a man comes into my life, I want them to be a complement to my life, not me changing everything about myself to fit in his world, which I really, really love, because we all know how some women, when they get married, it's like they lose themselves and it's all about him. And then later in life, you're just like, what happened to me? Right? I think it should be a compliment, not you changing everything for them. So kudos, girl. You keep doing you. Love will come along. Really loved Ankita. So last but not least, we meet Rupam. I believe that's how you say her name. She lives in Denver, Colorado, and she is actually a single mom. She has a daughter and is divorced, which was very interesting. She talked about she met a man who was actually from her religion, who was Indian, and almost like someone that the family obviously approved of. And then the marriage never worked because of infidelity issues. And now she's trying to get back into the dating world, and obviously ask Seema for some help. It's interesting because she was staying with her dad, who comes off very protective. And, I got him. I know he came off very protective. Like, there was one person that Seema was trying to recommend, another divorced single dad who was also Indian, that Seema thought would be perfect for Rupam. And the dad was like, he's divorced, what happened? And they're all like, why are you trying to bring up his past? And I was sitting there with the dad like, I need to know why he got divorced, because this time around, I think like the dad was very protective of her, because he doesn't want his daughter to get hurt again. I think we all got that, but he came off very, very strong. And at the end, he told his daughter, no, if we don't know why he got divorced, don't even bother. We're not even gonna give it a shot. And the daughter was like, oh, okay. But as the show progresses, it seems like she's also out there dating, and it sounds like she finds someone. So that was really nice to see. But it was interesting how they talked about the stigma. I think in most cultures, there's that stigma of being single and divorced, but theirs, in the Indian culture, it just feels like everything is turned up to another notch and it's on steroid. It's like single mom, divorced, like almost like your life is over, dig a hole and go. It's like, what? I guess that's one thing I would say appreciate about westernization, is the fact that over here, it's not unusual for people to be divorced and remarry, have blended families, and you can still have a second chance to love. And I'm so rooting for Rupam, because she looked like an excellent mother. I mean, her daughter's gorgeous. Her dad, who, although came off very protective, I also loved him. I felt like he's doing what a dad does. Look, the first time did not go very well. This time around, whoever's gonna come around, I am gonna be crossing the T and dotting every I, because I get the feeling that obviously when she went through heartache, he probably was the one who was there, and there's the family who had to pretty much, console her. So you can tell how families can get protected. But really an excellent, excellent show. I would recommend everyone's watch this. I really felt like I love that merge of like Indians who still stay in India and the ones who live in America, and the culture, the food. This show was very colorful, like when they would show scenes of the wedding and that kind of thing. I really liked that. I felt you felt like when you watched the show, you really learned more about the Indian culture. And so yeah, just a really excellent show. I highly recommend you watch it. Like I say, we're into foreign shows, and we're learning culture as you go. And I felt like we really learned about the Indian culture, especially when it comes to love. Once again, thank you so much for joining me. Once again, please go ahead and subscribe, turn that notification button on. And the next time I review another excellent foreign show, you'll be notified. I have reviewed quite a few. Please take a look down on my list. I've reviewed a lot of Korean dramas, known as K-dramas, Bollywood, African shows, also Spanish, Latina shows. So once again, thanks for joining me, and I'll see you again when I review another excellent show. Deuces.